Welcome to StoneClip and the simplicity of it. Here we are using the 15mm set size stone clip to secure 20mm thick granite panels to a concrete substrate with a 6.5mm drive pin as the anchor. The 15mm stone clip allows you to install it in the middle of the bed and have a 5mm cavity behind the panel which can be used to accommodate glue if need be. These clips only allow you to erect panels as they fit or to be plumbed outwards. They are best suited to working workface stone or rough cut and not sawn stone as we are using. They must be installed with a 2 to 3mm clearance under the shaft if they are to carry the load above and not download onto the panel below. These drive pins are best installed in top dead centre to support the stone clip, and you are able to install up to 3 of them into the base if need be. The joint width between the panel is best affected by cutting out the underside of the panel on top, and this cutout can be then rebuilt with epoxy when installing it onto the bottom panel. A spacer is needed until the epoxy is set. Further lifts of panels are done in the same manner, and theoretically there should be no download if the panels are installed right. You can reuse the clips simply by cutting the heads off the drive pins and removing the clips. Here we are installing the 6mm adjustable stone clips by starting with the top and bottom clips installed level and secured in place with the drive pin. We'll make sure the panel is sitting level before we plumb it in place. The adjustable stone clip is first installed back to front and adjusted in and out till it is plumb in the face. We then lock up the nut on the shaft and cut off the excess thread. When positioning the clip in place, you must put a shim under the shaft to provide, when installed, the 2 to 3mm clearance needed to carry the load independently of the panel below. The full range of stone clips are installed exactly the same way. It is only the panel size, weight and cavity that is different. The bigger the clip, the more it can carry, and the wider the cavity. Apart from cutting the shaft to fit, the installation of the adjustable is the same as a set size stone clip. When going up with the next lift, it is a repetition of what has been done on the previous panels. And the good determining point is that when the panel is in place, it is ready immediately to take the next lift. The joint width is affected in the same manner as was shown with the set size clip. What we are doing here is installing the 6mm adjustable StoneClip onto the channel cladding system. We start with the top and bottom clips and install them level and securely in place. The difference here is when installing the clips is that you don't need to cut off the excess thread, as it is contained in the depth of the 42 by 42mm channel. The panels of stone are 600 by 300 by 40mm thick and weigh 19 kilos each, and are being supported at a 65mm cavity, including the depth of the channel. The system only comes in two sizes, 6mm by 50mm shaft and 8mm by 70mm long shaft. So you can install a panel 50mm cavity, or you can go out to 75mm cavity with the 8mm shaft. But obviously the panel sizes are restrictive with the carrying capacity of the lighter clips. The joints are affected exactly in the same way as the two previous clips, set size and the adjustable StoneClip. The greater loads in cavities are suited to the stone subsystem, which is demonstrated in the next video. Here we are assembling the 12mm stone sub bracket, which consists of the base plate, the channel nut and the shock clip shaft with its plastic cover. These brackets are also available in the 16mm by 100mm long shafts, which can carry in excess of 50% more load. We are using the same panels of granite, 600 by 300 by 40mm thick and weigh 19 kilos each, and they are being supported at 80mm cavity from the channel, thus giving an overall cavity of 120mm. The plastic sheet is not used on the bottom bracket. We start by installing the 12mm top and bottom bracket, which can be used in 4 different configurations as shown here to carry the panel weight. Here I am locking it into place. These are levelled in position and the panels checked out to accommodate the shaft and to sit down on the supporting flange head. This is checked out and levelled, and the intermediate clips are installed. When these are secured in place, the panel is level and plumb. The shock clip is designed so that it can sit down on the reinforced plastic hose that is a 2mm wall thickness, and it acts as a shock absorber. The following lifts are a repetition of before. Each panel here is independently installed and no download is affected to the panels below. The channel nut must be locked up tight, as it has its own serrations on it to hold it in tight to the back of the channel.